जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, 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 जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। 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 श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। 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 श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम श्री जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम श्री राम Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama Om. Sri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama Om. Sri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama Om. Sri Rama, Jai
You can tell her questions, I will answer it later. Today we are taking up. Om Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Pranam, Pranam, Pranam. Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Today we shall take up. Namaskar, Namaskar. Today we shall take up the vision for December 2023. It starts with Beloved Papa's article on secret of power and success. Man holds in him the seed of infinite power. This seed is the origin of heavens and earth, of the whole world and the creatures in it. When man realizes that he is born of this seed, he opens up the channel through which flows into him the light and power of this immortal seed. His weakness is conquered, inexhaustible strength manifests instead. His ignorance is dispelled, his heart is illumined with the divine knowledge. Doubt vanishes, unshakable faith takes birth in its place, grief and misery are annulled, and true peace and joy pervades his being. Thus life becomes a dazzling meteor, radiating a divine and soothing brilliance. Every man, by the mere sight of his birth as such, can attain the supremely blessed state. Let him only recognize the immortal source of his being. This source is divine. This source is of the Supreme God. Then strength, power, success, peace, knowledge, and joy will ever be his. He will have fulfilled the mission of his life. The river will have reached the infinite ocean. The drop will have mingled with the waters of immortality. In this short article, Papa has brought out what spiritual journey is, what the spiritual attainment is. He wants us to recognize that we all owe our origin to that seed. And the seed is not an ordinary seed. It is vested with immense power, immense strength, immense potentialities. We are partially aware of it when we say somebody is extraordinarily efficient, somebody is doing excellence in his job, and all those things. We are only partially there. But the moment Papa says we become aware of the source, the seed, that it is God from whom we have come, then all these things will be ours. With this background, again we will go through so that it will become more clear. Man holds in him the seed of infinite power. This seed is the origin of heaven and earth, of the whole world and the creatures in it. Everything has come from that seed. Bijam Mam Sarvabhutanam. Everything owes its origin, not only we, everything. Because in Bhagavad Gita, he clearly mentions, even for a rational mind, when it starts to try to go to its source, it gets stunted, no? The first paddy, we cannot even conceive where from it came. The present paddy in the paddy field has germinated from a seed paddy. That seed paddy has come from another paddy cultivation. No? So first seed, first human being, first any type of vegetable or fruit, the air we breathe, the earth we exist. How can we say that we know the root? That's why he says here, man holds in him the seed of infinite power. This seed is the origin of the whole world and the creatures. When man realizes that he is born of this seed, he opens up the channel through which flows into him the light and power of this immortal seed. At the moment we are not aware. We are aware that we are so and so, the limited finite being. But here it is assured the moment we become aware of the source, not knowing, become aware of the source, then it opens up the channel through which flows into him the light and power of this immortal seed. At the moment we realize what happens, his weakness is conquered, an inexhaustible strength manifests instead, his ignorance is dispelled, his heart is illumined with the divine knowledge, doubt vanishes, unshakable faith takes birth in its place, grief and misery are annulled, true peace and joy pervade his being. Thus life becomes a dazzling meteor, radiating a divine and soothing brilliance. From the finite to the infinite, from the limited to the unlimited, from the individual to the universal. Every man, by the mere right of his birth as such, can attain this supremely blessed state. This is another assurance for all of us. All of us have come from there, so all of us are entitled to realize it. Let him only recognize the immortal source of his being. Let him only find his union and oneness with the source. This source is divine. This source is the supreme God. Then strength, power, success, peace, knowledge, joy will ever be his. He will have fulfilled the mission of his life. The river will have reached the infinite ocean. The drop will have mingled with the waters of immortality. Secret of power and success. Satsang with beloved Papa Swami Ramdas. The seed of infinite power is the spirit within. Anything connected with the spirit is called spiritual. Beloved Papa explains what spirituality means. There is the spirit within us that makes us talk, walk, and do everything. There are so many movements and changes going on within this body, such as the function of the digestive organs, the blood circulation, growth of hair, etc. We cannot say these things are done by us. The same power which is responsible for the movements inside our bodies is also responsible for the outer movements. You see that the wind blows, the sun gives light, trees grow, birds fly and sing. All these and many more movements and changes are going on about us. They are not movements caused by any separate units of power working accidentally, by chance or due to the fortuitous concourse of atoms. If it is so, we can very well deny the existence of a spiritual power that permeates the universe and causes all the movements in it. But this is not so. There is an all-pervading force or energy that makes us talk, walk, and perform our actions. If we recognize that this universal power is responsible for all that we do, our ego will disappear, we shall be one with the universal life and truth, and we shall be supremely free and happy. So first article is said about where from we have originated. That is it is not merely a seed, it is a repository of all that is good and great. No? Power, energy, potentiality. And in this, and that seed is called the spirit. Anything connected with the spirit is called spirituality. So to make us more clearly, Papa is bringing out certain activities that are going on in our body on which we have no control, we have no say. That power. Digestive organs, blood circulation, growth of the hair, we can add, breathing, heartbeat, so many things. That makes us talk now, walk, perform all actions. Seeing through the eyes, hearing through the ears, tasting through the tongue, smelling through the nose, touching through the skin, thinking through the mind. All these are the activities. No? So that power is called the spirit, or God, or Atman. Words of Puja Mataji. Puja Mataji explains how service is an expression of the divine power and how to maintain this attitude at all times. So this particular month's topic is this divine power. No? So each one is trying to view it from their perspective. So we are not just reading it, we are trying to understand each and everything. So Papa first said that we all owe our origin to that seed, and then the seed is God, or Atman, or Brahman. Anything connected with that is called spirituality. So to understand that, we look at ourselves and see how things are going on. And now Mataji touches about seva. Let us see. Whatever situations we are placed in, whatever job we do, we should think that it is given to us by Him. In fact, it is He who is at the bottom of everything, right from our birth in this human form. Seed, It is His power that makes us digest our food, grow up, and so on. If only we realize this much, we will also know that if we get any job, it is His doing only. Therefore, whatever work we are doing is His work. As we dedicate ourselves completely to Him in everything that we do, taking it as being done by Him only, our action will become spontaneous, just as we unconsciously move our hands or feet. Our body consciousness gets diluted. There is the none called I to call this mind, my doing, and so on. Everything becomes He and He alone. So transforming every act. The first article says, everything has come from that source. Even the field where we are working is produced by that power. Even when we are involved in that, in us, in the second article, Papa said, whatever we are doing, it is because of that power. So the field is given by him, our sense of individuality is given by him. So whatever we do, it becomes service to him. There is one God, one divine power pervading the whole universe. It is the supreme power that has assumed all forms and shapes on earth. Words of Puja Swami Sachidananda. The spirit is also identified as consciousness. Puja Swami Sachidananda recollects his sadhana. My practice in those days was that when I saw anybody, I would see the consciousness in him, pervading every atom of his body. And I took it that the body was active only because of the consciousness which is real and not the body. This consciousness is also called the unifying spirit that connects up all forms in Prakriti into one unit, like the thread that connects up all beads in a rosary makes it a single unit. I was charmed by Saint Jnaneshwar Maharaj's statement that Purusha is the gold thread connecting all the gold beads, which are the innumerable forms of Prakriti. Thus he says that Purusha and Prakriti are not different. This practice gave great joy. We also know now that this consciousness has been with us throughout. When we mentally chant Ram Nam, with closed eyes, and when we start hearing the chanting of Ram Nam, a stage comes when we know that we are chanting Ram Nam. That is, the chanting is being done. Slowly the witness consciousness becomes conspicuous. Even now it is there, but because of the activities we are unable to understand. That is what is called consciousness or awareness. So Swamiji identifies the Atman, the power, as consciousness. So we have got three now facets. First, we owe our entire thing to that origin, number one. It's called the seed. That seed is not an ordinary seed, it contains all potentialities, all strength. All our manifestations come, the tiny little bijam, seed in our mother's womb, has come out in this form, all of us form. Think about it. So then, the presiding element in us, called the sense of individuality, that comes because of this consciousness. So consciousness and existence, both are combined. Otherwise we say it's a dead body. So we remember now the two exposition in Bhagavad Gita, Jivanam Sarvabhudeshu. Then Chetana. The two aspects. Bijam Mam Sarvabhudanam. Then life is the expression of Atman. Consciousness is the expression of Atman. We know that we are hearing now. We know that we are talking. We know that we are sitting. That knowing principle in us, easy way to understand. That knowing principle is there untouched. Whatever we talk, it doesn't bother. Whatever we do, it doesn't bother. But we know that we are doing. It remains untouched, unaffected, but it always becomes a witness. And then Mataji says, whatever therefore we do, it has come from this. So the moment we become aware that everything has come, even the field as well as the doer, we become one with it. Using dynamic willpower by Paramahamsa Yogananda. Nothing is impossible unless you think it is. As a mortal being, you are limited, but as a child of God, you are unlimited. Focus your attention on God, you shall have all the power you want to use in any direction. Will is the instrument of the image of God within you. In will lies His limitless power, the power that controls all the forces of nature. As you are made in His image, the power is yours to bring about whatever you desire. When you make up your mind to do good things, you will accomplish them if you use dynamic willpower to follow through. If you cling to certain thought with dynamic willpower, it finally assumes a tangible outward form. Carrying a thought with dynamic willpower means holding to it until the thought pattern develops dynamic force. When a thought is made dynamic by will force, it can manifest according to the mental blueprint you have created. So the moment we link to that omnipotent, omniscient spirit, Yogananda says, then whatever sankalpa it is given, whatever concepts that are given, immediately it comes out fulfilled. But mind you, when we connect with Him, if the puny intellect arrogates that it can do things, it may fail. So using dynamic willpower. Again, it is an extension of the first article. No? We connect with our source. And from there we move to Swami Chinmayanandaji says, power to act has come from the Creator. The principle of right action, nay, even the power to act, has come out of the Creator Himself, and the Creator is none other than the imperishable Supreme. Action is a gift from the Creator. Therefore, the all-pervading Supreme is ever centered in all undertakings pursued by one or many people in an honest spirit of self-dedication for the good of all. The divine principle holds the varied objects of the universe together as a string holds flowers of different shapes and color to form one beautiful garland. It is a divine power that makes the aspirant restless and drives him in search of a guru. It is the same divine power that makes the saint more restless to rush forth to serve the world and help others to liberation. So the Creator, though it's a static energy, static principle, it is also a dynamic aspect, Not merely static, not merely dynamic. So it all owes its origin to that seed. All these articles make us to think about that omnipotent and omnipresent power which has come as a tiny little seed in my mother's womb. When Papa says Prem, an expression of infinite power, again. And another aspect of divine power is love. Prem is the very form and being of God Himself, shining with the luster of perfection. Beloved Papa amplifies it thus. Prem is composed mainly of three powers: power of forgiveness, power of compassion, power of endurance. Love means normally what we think as love is not the real love. Here love stands for the all-enveloping, all-encompassing phenomenon where there is no otherness. So how can we know They are visible to us in the form of forgiveness, compassion, and endurance. Although we are subject to hate and persecution from others, we do not harbor thought of ill will or revenge towards them, but think and wish well of them. Here we exercise our power of forgiveness. Only when the otherness is there, we retaliate. We harbor ill will, But when there is no such thing, when a child does something, spoiling the mother's sari, she does not take it like that, That is real prem. Here we exercise. We take the sorrows and trials of others as our own, and to bring them relief, we go forward to serve them with enthusiasm and selfless spirit. We sacrifice for their sake our body, mind, riches. Here we exercise the power of compassion. We suffer to any extent in order to free others from their pains and troubles. And for gaining this end, we are prepared to cheerfully renounce all our personal pleasures. Here we exercise our power of endurance. When the child is sick, round the clock the parents spend their time in the hospital. It gets prioritized. Endurance. Normally, one needs 5 to 6 hours of sleep, without which he cannot continue. But here, when the need arises, we find we have all seen that, or we would have experienced it in our own life. So power of forgiveness, power of compassion, power of endurance. This is all inherent in that seed that we should know. Connect to God, the source of power, by Mata Amritanandamayi. A small battery which has only a limited amount of power stored in it will lose some power whenever it is used. However, a wire connected to the mains will always have undiminished power. In the same way, you will lose your power if you identify yourself to be the limited ego, similar to a small battery. On the other hand, if you are connected to God, the source of infinite power, how can you lose any power? That which comes from the unlimited is unlimited. Beautiful. That which is coming from the unlimited is unlimited. If you use a burning wick to light 1,000 wicks, it doesn't affect the radiance of that wick. If you use a burning wick to light 1,000 wicks, it does not affect the radiance of that wick. So stay connected with God. That is it. God is the indivisible power, devoid of all boundaries or separation. Mother Nature, the atmosphere, the birds and other animals, plants and trees, each and every atom is overflowing with His divine power. God is fully present in all that is sentient and insentient. When we fully understand this truth, we can do nothing but love ourselves as well as everyone around us. So connected to God, the source of power. Infinite power is the sustaining force by Swami Krishnanandaji of Divine Life Society. All things in the world are flowing into us every moment of time, and we are also flowing into everything in the world at every moment. We are sustained and we feel that we are alive, strong, healthy because of the world of power and sustenance. Because the world of power and sustenance is entering into our personality perpetually, either through the breathing process or the food that we take, the energy that is coming from the sun, and many other influences impinging upon us from the total atmosphere of what we may call ecological environment. The very forest around us enters us with its calming influence. You cannot live for a minute here if the beneficent air from the cosmic setup does not enter into your nostrils to sustain your lungs and protect your heart. All these peculiarities connected with the world outside, to which we pay scant respect in our daily life, are our sustaining forces. So when you love an object, you are loving all things connected with that object. The ray of sun is all the sun. The incarnation is all the gods. The absolute itself is concentrated here. Again, the first article, the seed, how potential it is, how all-pervading it is, how powerful it is, how radiant it is, how vibrant it is, Dear children, an old lady came to a saint with her grandson and asked if it was advisable for her to leave her family and retire to Vrindavan. The sage replied, "What is it that looks into your eyes through the eyes of your grandson? What force, what energy, what divinity is it that looks at you from every pore of the body of this child?" The lady said, "It must be God. In this dear boy, there is no thought of temptation or wickedness. This dear little boy is innocent and pure. When he cries, in his wailing is the voice of God and nothing else." Again the sage said, "When you go to Vrindavan, you shall have to cling to the one image of Krishna. There in that image, you must worship the divinity. Is not the child just as good as an image of Krishna?" The lady was surprised. After thinking and reflecting, she came to the conclusion that she might as well worship Krishna through the child by regarding him as the incarnation of Krishna. For God it is that looks through the eyes of the child. God it is that looks through the eye of the child. God it is that gives the child its power. God it is that works through the ears of the child. God it is that makes the child's hair grow. God it is that works through every pore of his body. Epistles of Swami Ramdas, letters. Beloved Ram, you are the immortal truth, and your life and all its activities are the manifestations of it. In action, you are pure joy. In inaction, you are pure spirit. The ego has no existence except for one who is obsessed by ignorance. God only is, and He is all. All action in the world are His, because by His power alone, all things and all beings in the universe move and act. Identification with the Atman, coupled with the surrender of all action to Shakti, grants the light of knowledge, dispelling the darkness of ignorance. When we were in Chennai, from 30th November to 3rd October, there was Satsang. In the last month's vision, so many portions were covered, and one small portion was not covered. That is also being touched upon. Gandhi Jayanti. 2nd October was Gandhi Jayanti. So on that day, some prompting came to share with them. This day reminded all the participants of the inspiring words of Gandhi, which read, "When Ram Nama is enshrined in the heart, it means the rebirth of man. Such a man will take God's name with every breath. His Rama will be awake even while the body is asleep. Rama will always be with him in whatever he does. He further states, no one can by mere wishing enshrine Ramnama in his heart. Untiring effort is required, as also patience. Enshrining Ramnam in your heart, you know that. Because Ram stands for that seed, that power. At the moment we start everything from we, so it is difficult to enshrine this Ramnam in our heart. So he says untiring effort is required, as also patience. And one anecdote was shared. A deeply touching incident was shared that occurred on the 30th January 1947. You will all know that on 30th January 1948, Gandhiji dropped the body. Exactly a year prior to Gandhiji's death, which was a test of his total reliance on Ramnam. When Bapuji was seriously sick in Amki, in the present Bangladesh, Manudi, who was looking after him, was seeking external help for his relief. At that time, Gandhiji reminded her, I expect you to do nothing else but take Ramnam with all your heart. He also added, one should have Ramnam on one's lips till the last minute. But it should not be repeated parrot-like. It should spring from the heart, as in the case of Hanumanji. And we all know on 30th January 1948, when he was shot, at the time of parting the body, he only repeated, Hey Ram. And he had his premonition also. Thus the 3-day sessions came to a close with the clear understanding that we live, we work, we deal with men and matters as we try to shape our mind and heart, trying to manifest the divine spark that is within us. Ultimately, what comes out of this effort is harmony at home, harmony at the workplace, harmony with friends. All our spiritual disciplines, in whatever shape or form, ultimately zeroes to this: harmony at home, harmony at workplace, harmony with friends. Family level, professional level, social level. In memoriam, Sri Anantakrishna Sharma, 96, an ardent devotee of the ashram from Bangalore, was called by Virat Papa on the 16th of November 2023. We pray for Virat Papa's blessings on the dear departed soul for eternal rest and peace at his lotus feet. Anand Ashram News, 15,500 crore Nam Japa Yajna for world peace. The total japa received in the fourth round of the 15,500 crore Nam Japa Yajna for world peace in the month of October, which includes the count given by Ramnam Bank in Chennai, is 210 crores, chanted by 1,87,307 devotees. The grand total of the japa done so far in this round now stands at 1,010 crores. Ananda Kudir. In the sessions held with the children at Ananda Kudir in Anandashram, efforts are made to kindle various aspects on leading a successful and fruitful life without teaching or preaching. During one of the sessions, some children revealed their mental anguish which is inadvertently caused by parents. It includes parents' insistence on academic excellence with total disregard to the preferences of the children. This was one of the points. Harmony at home, another point. Comparing their children with others, another point. These insights are thought-provoking and can help all parents recognize the fact that each child possesses unique abilities and therefore the methods of absorption and application may vary. In the month of October 2023, 9 camps were conducted in which 411 students participated. Upcoming programs. People Akhanda Ramnam and Satsang. People visit the ashram from various places. Initially, they may be strangers. However, many of them develop an affinity for each other, which is not based on any selfish motive. Here they sit together, eat together, join together to participate in the ashram program in general, Nama chanting in particular. To give a boost to this approach, Vinod Papa prompts to have Akhanda Ramnam Saptah every year. He also facilitates satsang sessions to form the right concepts about various aspects of spirituality. This year's program will be held in the ashram from the 23rd to 31st of December 2023. Vinod Papa's 101st Sannyas Day. It will be celebrated on the 27th December 2023. The turn of events that occurred on this day in 1922 set in motion a series of events such as the blossoming of Puja Mataji, establishing Anand Ashram, and later Puja Swami Sachidanandji, and a wide network of Vinod Papa's innumerable spiritual children spread all over the world. After adopting sannyas, he mainly concentrated his spiritual endeavors on 3 major aspects: chanting Ramnam constantly, looking upon everyone and everything as forms of his beloved Ram, accepting everything that happened as happening by the will of Ram and for the ultimate good. On the 101st Sannyas Day, we seek his unbounded blessings on all of us to be blessed with the steadfastness that he had throughout his spiritual journey, so that our endeavors too may culminate in experiencing the absence of otherness. Every month we are trying to bring one book in focus. In the Vision of God. Mr. Lance C. Nelson from the University of San Diego, in his foreword to the American edition of In the Vision of God, introduced the book thus: this book, together with In Quest of God, comprises an invaluable account of the spiritual life of one of the greatest modern mystics of India. The fact that it is autobiographical adds immeasurably to its value, for rarely has the story of a saint been articulated from such an intimate perspective. These books, In Quest of God and In the Vision of God, are destined to be the lasting classics in the world of spirituality. Readers will become privileged auditors as Ramdas tells his story. They will enjoy a spiritual feast that has few parallels. This illuminating chronicle vividly captures the later part of the Vinod Papa's itinerant years that concluded with the founding of Anand Ashram in 1931. Thought for the month. God's will means God's power. God's power is the manifested universe. All movement, all change in it belongs to that power. To realize this truth is to surrender to the power or will of God. The individual I is utterly unreal. He and his power are the truth. His power is infinite love and infinite joy. This is how the vision concludes. So right from the start, if we make a quick recap, Papa talks about the infinite power stored in the seed, And then he talks about, in the Satsang, he talks about this power, this seed is called the spirit. Anything connected with the spirit is called spirituality. And he tries to throw light on what spirituality means. And then Mataji elaborates about how every act of ours, if traced, goes back to him and him only. So when we become aware of him, aware of this truth, it becomes seva. Then comes Puja Swami Sachidanandaji's. He says consciousness, another aspect of the seed power. Consciousness absolute, that is there right from the start. And then using dynamic willpower, Yogananda Paramahamsa. Then Chinmayanji talks about Creator's greatest gift is the creation. When we look at it that perspective, how varied manifestations. Just we go to the vegetable market and see, answer is clear. The bitter in the bitterness, bitter gourd, the spiciness in the chilies, the sweetness in the sugar cane. Where from it has come? And then another aspect of expression of this is prem. It has got 3 dimensions: the power of forgiveness, the power of compassion, the power of endurance. Then Mata Amritanandamayi says, connect to God. Beautiful example. And one of that which comes from the unlimited is unlimited. When we connect ourselves to this limited, it comes limited. And then Krishnanandji Maharaj says, infinite power is the sustaining force. All the Panchabhutas, we can see that, It remains there, Many decades back, we used to think about this. When we got independence, we were only having 36 crores of people. Now we have got 140 crores of people. Does anybody suffer for want of air? Think. Inexhaustible. When he says inexhaustible, that which sustains the power, the earth, the space, anything that we look at it. So when merely reading will not help, we have to do some plumbing deep within. And in the dear children, a simple thing, we forget to, we are thinking only big things. When her direction was directed towards, her attention, focus was directed towards her child. Immediately she was able to recognize, God is there. He is expressive in the form of innocence, purest form of love. And something about Gandhiji talking about Ramnama enshrining in our heart. Because Ramna means the name of him, the seed, the power, the spirit, the universal power, the consciousness, the sustaining power. All this, whatever we have read, suppose we put everything in one capsule. That is Ramnam. And we are being asked to enshrine that Ramnam in our heart. That means remember him always. That is what is meant. Enshrining Ramnam in our heart means remembering him always. He was able to remember throughout. And that Amki incident, Actually, due to paucity of space, it has not been well explained. The incident is like this. He was going through the East Bengal, a village called Amki. There the goat's milk was not available. So somebody said coconut milk is okay, but that did not suit Gandhiji. So he had diarrhea, and then because of that, he was almost at the verge of collapse. So only his granddaughter Manudi was there. So she became panicky. What is to be done? So Gandhiji had specifically said nobody should accompany him. No entourage. But at the same time, Gandhiji's followers wanted to see. So without making him know, they were camping at the nearby village. That was led by Dr. Sushila Nayyar. So this Manudi wrote a small note and was about to hand over to one boy who was there to go to rush up to the nearest village to shoot. At that particular time, Gandhiji opened his eyes. Then he asked, what did you do now? So she said, you were in this state, I am answerable to many people. And you said nobody should accompany you. What can I do? So I immediately sought the help of Sushila Ben. So I wrote. Immediately he says these words. I expect you to do nothing else but take Ramnam with all your heart. That is a doctor of doctors. This is the word he used. As long as he wants this body to survive, he will make it. Otherwise, he will take it away. Our job is only to remember him. You should have taken Ramnam. And he also added, today you and I have saved. Because if we go for any other remedy, that means we are belittling or de-recognizing the Almighty in us. That was his faith. And he recovered. His reliance on Ramnam, his reliance on indwelling spirit, it was 100. There was no 99.99, total. So Ramnam, it should not be repeated parrot-like. It should spring from the heart, as in the case of Hanumanji. Hanumanji, when after the entire episode, when they came back to Ayodhya, because he was responsible for Rama to go there, to identify that Sita has been taken to Sri Lanka. So Sita wanted to present him with a, what do you call, rosary, not rosary, what do you call, some chain, okay, some, which she was wearing. She took it and gave it to him. But as soon as it was given, he started biting, and then he was asked, what are you doing? He wanted to know whether Ramnam is there inside. The signature of God, yesterday we read. If it is only made with some material, without the touch of Ram, then to Hanumanji, it did not enthuse him. So Gandhiji compared that heart to check up whether he is not bothered about anything, whether it has got the signature of Ram. That is why when Mahatmas say a few words, it is potent, it contains so many things we have to. So this month, that is December. Today is 1st, 1st December. So this month's vision contains all these articles which, if we do the manana, it will throw light on many aspects of spirituality. As you all know, vision is not posted now as a hard copy. It is sent through, the digital copy is sent through everybody, through email. Only exceptionally some people who are unable to do all this, to them we are sending 100 people. So this one, it is always available in our system. Those who are conversant with this computer, mobile, internet, they can easily access to the vision. Not only now, at any time. The idea is, it is also put in the website of the ashram, so that any time, on any year, on any month, or on any day, we can go there and take it. It's a library kept always available for everybody. For so many years, we have kept it there, so that any time we want, we can go there, take it. This will all help us in our spiritual journey. More of it tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om